So let's talk about the solution to this problem that we created, you and I. Okay, so you got to have your quarterback competition between Trey Lance and Jimmy Garoppolo, of course. And that's going to take a lot of reps and time, both in training camp and preseason. But you got to give playing time to Josh Rosen and Nate Sudfeld, both of them, in camp and in preseason. Because if you move on from Jimmy, that's going to be very controversial in the locker room and with the fans. They're going to need to feel confident that there's a good backup on the team. They're going to feel very confident in Trey Lance when they see him play. He is a showstopper. The stuff he can do athletically, very few quarterbacks in the league can do. Niner fans are going to fall in love with him hard at first sight. It'll be love at first sight. That's my prediction. I feel like it was for you, Kyle. Am I wrong? At least when you saw him in person. At least when you saw him actually digest your entire playbook in 2 months better than Jimmy Garoppolo has done it in 4 years. I know you like that. So here's what you got to do. You got to give Josh Rosen playing time early. You got to give him reps in camp, and you got to get him and Sudfeld in that first preseason game. It can't be just Rosen. It can't be just Jimmy and Trey Lance in that first game. You got to put in the organization mind, in the fans' mind, that it's not about Jimmy anymore. He's getting phased out. As long as Trey Lance looks good, Jimmy is history. And what's more important, who is more important, is Josh Rosen and Nate Sudfeld. Jimmy is history. It's one thing to say Lance isn't ready, you got to play Jimmy. It's another thing to say Lance is ready, but Jimmy has to stay as a $27 million backup. That's ridiculous. But the only way you can get rid of him is if Rosen shows something. How can he show something if you don't play him in preseason? Or Sudfeld. How can they show something if you never play them at all? They have to get actual playing time in preseason so they can perform well. They have to get playing time in training camp so they can perform well in preseason. You have to showcase them. Not to other teams, but to your team, to your front office. And the message is, forget Jimmy. Lance is ready, and we're picking the best backup for him, and it's not going to be Jimmy. We're not keeping a $27 million backup. It's not going to happen. So I know fans, you are emotionally attached to Jimmy, but he is history. And one of Rosen and Sudfeld is not. One of Rosen and Sudfeld is here for the future. Is going to be the long-term backup for Trey Lance. Figure out which one it is. That's the most important thing you got to do this offseason, Kyle. You got to pick two quarterbacks, not just one. Pick two. And you know you don't want them to be you don't want one of them to be Jimmy. So what are you going to do? You got to give Rosen a chance. You haven't, in my opinion, given him a real chance. Or Sudfeld. These guys didn't play enough in the OTAs. Rosen should have played last season. Now you got to play him in preseason. You got to play him in preseason. You got to let people know if Lance is winning this competition at camp. You got to let Niner fans know that the end of the Jimmy Garoppolo era is here. Okay? That's on you and me. I'll tell them too because I'll be at practice. Kyle, thank you so much for your time. Just a 20-minute meeting. I'll talk to you later. I'm going to take some calls, but that's not about you. This was a private, confidential meeting. All right. I know I missed some call. Hold on. Let me see. Hold on. Let me get some of these comments, and I'm going to take some calls. I wasn't too hard on Kyle. I was trying to be, solution oriented. Okay. Gabriel Clark says, prediction. Jalen Hurd will lead all Niners receivers in 2021 if Trey Lance starts. Whew. Dang, Gabriel. Yeah, maybe. He just hasn't been healthy in a long time. I think he's played 13 games since 2016. So maybe. But I'll bet against that. But I appreciate your donation.